What's up? It's me again. I'm finally back after a long hiatus of videos. I know it's been a while. It's been like maybe a year or something since my last video. So I'm going to try to catch back up and maybe produce more stuff. The topic of this video is what I like to call the strategy of animation. What is the strategy of animation? I feel like it's a thing that I don't hear a lot of people talk about. If you're a director and you're directing something, I feel like aside from the creative aspect of it and like the management of team members and stuff, the main thing you're doing and the main thing that makes you a good director is how well you are able to strategize a way to finish the cartoon or the movie or whatever it is you're working on. And I think this is also a thing that expands beyond just animation. If you're gonna make a cartoon and it's episodic, and you gotta produce a lot of these things, and like one episode comes up, you got this amount of time to do all this stuff in the cartoon. As a director, your strategy is how you're gonna execute this, how you're gonna pull this off. You come up with the creative ideas, but it's not enough just to come up with cool ideas. You got to be able to communicate to your team how you're actually going to pull that off. And what that is a strategy. It's a plan. It's like, how we're going to defeat the aliens. Here's my plan. If I break it down, if you're going to make a cartoon, let's say, for example, I had an episode where I had to do a submarine with a missile about to hit it, an explosion, and then like another part where people are talking in the office. And that's the whole episode. You know, for me, I assess what is important in the episode. I look at the script and I kind of figure out what the key parts are and what needs to pretty much look good. And then I sort of delegate animation to the more important parts and sort of scale back the animation on the parts that are more insignificant. And that's pretty much what it, like, that's how I get these things done. That's how I'm able to do 3 to 4 minutes of animation a month. It's insane. And I think that's another part of it is like, my production schedule at my job is probably really similar to what they're doing in Japan. Like, it's not like death hours. I'm not working myself to death or anything, but it's a really fast-paced production, and we really, abbreviate a lot of the process and pipeline. So for example, like I do character designs every episode, but I don't do full turnarounds. I just do 1 3/4 view and work from that. So I kind of don't need the extra views. I don't need the extra information since it's going to be me and I'll figure it out on the fly. I do really rough boards, and you know, I came up with a whole system to execute this shit quickly. Part of what I do is I figure out what's going to have more animation and what needs less animation. And I sort of can contribute more time to animate to this part by spending less time on these parts and really simplifying it down. So for example, if you've seen it, I did a scene where like the missile like flies by the camera and there's a big explosion with speed lines, because I kind of wanted to do an homage to like Gundam and like have a kind of a missile circusy kind of thing, even though it's one missile. I don't know if it counts as missile circus if it's one missile. So because of that, like the talking part is mostly just like from the torso up, mostly flapping mouths, not a lot of poses. It's shot reverse shot, not a lot of angles, and it's pretty straightforward. Generally, there's one scene that needs a lot better looking animation than other scenes. And I kind of have a good idea of how long it takes me to do something or how long it will take me to do something. And I sort of come up with my strategy based on that. And while doing all that, you have to keep in mind that you have a time limit. And to be able to do a job like that, you've got to be a person. I kind of stole this quote from Ridley Scott talking about being a director. You have to be somebody who can thrive under that kind of pressure. Because there's a lot of pressure just in a production job in general. TV, film, animation is pressure. And you gotta be a person that likes that shit. It's the only reason I can do this job, because I like it. I'd be lying if I said I didn't like it. If I didn't like it, I'd be doing something else. The trade-off for that is I get a lot of control. I get to control pretty much every aspect of it. In order to have that control, you gotta be able to thrive under that pressure and come up with strategies on how you're going to accomplish these things. Because also the strategy isn't just for me. I work with other people. I have coworkers. So I have to be able to communicate how we're going to pull this off and be like, yo, this is okay. This scene is going to be like 2 frames of animation. This scene is going to be like 10 frames like this anime and blah, blah, blah. Like that's really what it is. And then just making it happen. And I think whether it's me and 2 other people or like a studio of 400 people, you're basically doing the same thing. It's just like the number of people executing it changes. So, I mean, that's basically all it is. I would recommend trying to think about your personal projects like that too, because I spend a lot of time doing that too with my own personal stuff. And the thing about that is I don't have a time limit, but you want to finish it. Like I said this in the other video, I'm extremely concerned about finishing projects. That's like my main goal. That's the thing I like the most, is having a finished product where I can look at it. If it's a comic, I can hold it in my hand. It's tangible. It exists in reality now. It's not just in my head anymore. That, to me, that's the ultimate. The ultimate feeling is having it be done. You got to think, if I'm going to work on a personal animation, I still have to come up with a strategy so that it gets finished. It may not be as strict or as time sensitive as it is at work, but you still want to finish the shit. So like, there's things like keeping it short, not having 100 characters, not trying to reproduce studio quality animation, stuff like that. These are basic strategies to finish shit. And that's basically what it is. Like, strategies to finish this shit. If I had a book, that's what I would call it. But yeah, that's basically it. That's all I got. So, keep drawing, keep at it, come up with strategies and fight the good fight and make some fucking cartoons. Hey, if you guys found this video useful, you can actually do me a solid by hitting the like button, or also maybe subscribing and hitting the bell if you're feeling so inclined. I have another YouTube channel called AMV Attack where I make anime music videos set to the hippity hop music, and they're pretty dope. You should check that out too.